Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Before we dive into PayPal, please take a minute and click subscribe to my channel if you don't already. And take a look at the link you see on your screen for a message from my sponsor, The Motley Fool, where you can get the top 10 stocks to buy right now. Go to fool.com/Frankel. So PayPal is a stock that's really jumped to the top of my watch list lately. For one thing, the stock's been a terrible performer, which doesn't always make an investment a good decision, but in this case, I think that's the case. It's very close to its 52-week low. It's down about 80% from the highs that we saw in 2021. And to be fair, there are some good reasons. The company's growth slowed significantly. It pretty much conceded that it's not going to get to its some of the user growth goals that it had talked about years ago, but that's okay. So is still a very profitable business. First of all, it has about a 42% gross margin. It is highly profitable, almost a 10% net profit margin over the past 12 months. It's generating more than $1 billion of free cash flow every quarter. It should generate about 5 billion total this year, and it's using that money to buy back its own stock, which kind of caught my eye because PayPal's been a buyback stock for a while, but it's really accelerated in 2022 and 2023, which leads me to believe that management thinks that the stock is cheap. So, just looking at the company's recent results, PayPal is still a massive, massive payment platform. About a little over $1.3 trillion of payment volume over the past 12 months. It from its payment volume, it made a little over $7 billion in revenue in the first quarter alone, and it's still growing. That was up 10% year over year. Its margins are getting better. Its adjusted EBITDA margin grew by about 200 basis points year over year and beat its own expectations. So I mentioned the company is very, very profitable. It has 435 million active users, and it's doing a great job of figuring out ways to engage users. The recent rollout of the Venmo Teen account is a good example. It gives teenagers kind of access to a debit card. It lets parents monitor their purchasing and things like that. And it's a great way not only to engage their user base, but to bring people into their ecosystem while they're very young and kind of create lifelong customers. The company's also kind of leaning into its merchant checkout experience, really trying to build that out, which I think could really deepen engagement and increase the transaction volume we're seeing out of PayPal's users. To the kind of the bottom line is that PayPal is not going to reach a billion active users anytime in the near future. It may get there eventually, but not for a long time, like it had originally thought. But that's okay. The company is doing a great job of capitalizing on the decline in its stock price, innovating with new product rollouts, and using the cash it's making in very responsible ways. And speaking of cash, PayPal has over $15 billion of cash and investments on its balance sheet and about $10 billion of debt. So it actually has a net cash position. It trades for about 12 times forward earnings, and it looks like a very, very cheap stock right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on PayPal. Please leave me any comments. I'll do my best to answer any of them individually. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.